Hey there, everybody! I'm Hunter, this is Face, and we are awesome computer people who do a Mind series.
Yes, we do. Well, we try to, at least. Hi, everybody, this is One Face. How are you guys doing? This is totally not the second time we tried this. Let's keep that quiet. We can edit this bit out. Anyways. So Q&A. We've talked about this about a month ago. Slightly longer than a month ago, but, we go around to it eventually.
I just came up to him and said, hey, you want to do a Q&A or something?
Yeah, God, when was that? That was a while back.
That
was
like November?
End of last year? Yeah. Yeah, well, what matters is that we got to it in the end. That's what matters. So, before we start, should we just get a few things out of the way first? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are dying to know the answer to these questions. And even though they weren't necessarily asked in the comments, I'm pretty sure we both heard them enough times. We might as well answer them, straight away. So, first things first, to get out of the way, we haven't really watched each other's shows. I mean, I know you haven't watched mine, and I'm vaguely aware of sort of how Matt's mind works, but not much more than that. So if anyone's wondering what we think of each other's shows, can't really answer that. We haven't watched enough. I think that's basically the gist of it.
I have not watched a single episode of his show.
I think I don't know if I ever watched a full episode of Matt's Mind. I think I've watched enough of it to roughly know how, what the traits were, and I am aware you do a second Mind series. Although
I did.
You told me before that's actually your first, technically. Is that
Pal's
correct?
Mind was the first, and that ended way back when.
Yeah.
Now no one remembers it, and I have to do a Pal's Mind Awareness Day.
So I'm afraid if you're expecting us to comment and make judgments on each other's shows, they're not really gonna do that today. Secondly, I mean, if you haven't figured it out already, the way we're gonna do this video, and if necessary, subsequent videos, if this gets too long, we're pretty much doing like a podcast here, aren't we? Pretty much. Like, we're not gonna limit ourselves in terms of how long we spend on each question, because that would just be really, really restricting at the end of the day. So, yeah, and I think last but not least, and before we get absolutely bombarded by 7,000 different emails asking for the same thing, do you want to do a quick update of when the next Matt's Mind episode is going to come out? Oh, God.
When it's done. The next episode is actually filmed, but we've also finished up the writing process, and we just gotta record the dialogue and then upload it.
And what are you on now? 40 or something, or are you on?
This will be episode 40.
Wow.
Our last episode was our third? No, fourth. That would be our 4th anniversary episode.
That's. I think both of our series are pretty long running by this point.
Well, it's easy to remember the anniversary because we uploaded episode 1 on Halloween.
So, okay, fair enough. Yeah, mine was started back in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was 2011 summer. Yeah, so it's also been quite a while. And it's gonna be a lot longer still, I can tell you that much. Yeah. Fallout 3 and New Vegas are notoriously long, expansive games.
I'm honestly surprised that Season 1 ended at episode 30.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll probably talk more about that later. But as for Couriers Mind, so Season 6 is done, so that's 60 episodes now. Season 7, I've sort of, I'll be brutally honest, I've been kind of lazy on that one recently because of multiple things. I wanted to take a little break, and also because I've got a job now, so I have to focus a lot more time on that. And the thing is, my probation period is about to end in about a month or so. So until then, I'm not really in the mood to make anything on the side. But I have started jotting down ideas for what I'll include in season 7. Like I'm pretty much set on how far I'm gonna get. I mean, it's no secret now. He's going into the strip, so you can look forward to that. But other than that, I think I'll probably give a more definite date once I get closer to it.
Yeah, if I need to be brutally honest, Matt's Mind has actually been sort of put on the back burner right now, because we're trying to focus on getting It Sucks But I Still Played It off the ground, and Hunter Reviews is doing insanely well.
Well, it's good to experiment.
But again, Matt's Mind is our bread and butter, and we will not abandon it.
There you go. That's all you need to hear from everyone out there. Right. So those are the 3 questions that I'm pretty sure everyone would rather we got off first. So without further ado, should we just get through the list? We both have pretty extensive lists.
Yes, I have like a list of 31 questions that you guys sent in.
Yeah, same pretty much. I mean, I'm pretty sure some of them do overlap. So we're gonna try and when applicable, both of us will answer a question. So, do you want to go first?
How about we flip a coin?
Flip it? Oh god. Well, I can't see it, but fine. Whatever. I'll go for tails.
Heads.
Alright.
Okay. Let's see. What's a good one? This is a good one to start off with. What was the one thing that made you say, that's it, I want to do a Mind series?
Ooh, okay. Mine's gonna be quite long. You start, I think.
Okay, well, for me, I was always into, Barney's Mind and, Shepard's Mind. The thing that made me finally, that I had always wanted to do a Mind series, like I had announced doing one, but had no intention of going through with it. But then, the Masterminds, they put out, Meeting of the Minds, which was their hour-and-a-half long Q&A session that they did. Just them talking about, like, doing a Mind series for an hour and a half. I was like, okay, that's it. I want to do a Mind series now. And so I've created Pal's Mind. I don't know what was the moment that made me say I wanted to do Matt's Mind. I think I was just sitting in school one day, and the idea just came to me, and I just thought to myself, I can make this work.
I think at the end of the day, that's probably what most Mind series creators first thought. You start with a vague idea, and then you try to make it work.
Yeah, that's essentially what Matt's Mind started out as, a vague idea.
Fair enough. Well, in my case, it's kind of a two-phase thing. So I saw Freeman's Mind back in I want to say early 2008. I think.
Saw him back when he was on episode 4.
Oh wow! Okay, so you saw that way earlier. I think it was 17. Episode 17 when it was the latest one.
I found him completely by accident, actually. I was looking for a new episode of Arby and the Chief or something new to watch on Machinima.
Machinima. Thou shalt not speak of Machinima.
I still watch that, actually. Though then again, they just canceled Inside Gaming, so...
Yeah, I'll be honest, I also found Freeman's Mind on Machinima. I don't know what I was searching for. I think I was searching for just Half-Life 2 Machinima. This was back in the time when I was just obsessed with Machinima as a concept. So I just wanted to see how many different games have been made into Machinimas. And Half-Life 2 just happened to be on that list of games that I wanted to look at. And there it was, Freeman's Mind. I'd say, like, I was absolutely, like, I bought into the idea immediately. I was like, oh, holy shit, this is a great concept. You know, because here's a guy who doesn't normally speak, and everyone has an idea in their own head what this guy should be like, and I'm pretty sure 95% of people thought of some other type of personality. So Obviously, that was great.
I like that with Freeman's Mind, the stuff that he points out is stuff we were all thinking in the first place.
Exactly.
Like the box smashing room.
I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't even play Half-Life 1 back then. I played Half-Life 2. I haven't played Half-Life 1, but the stuff that he said, the stuff that he pointed out, I could imagine myself, if I played the game back then, this is what I would have noticed.
Watching Freeman's Mind, I had not played any Half-Life. I had wanted to play Half-Life, but after I had watched Freeman's Mind, I ended up getting Half-Life for my PlayStation 2.
Yeah, so listen, pay attention, Valve. Freeman's Mind helped you sell copies of Half-Life. Alright, that's a fact, so... If you're ever thinking about doing the Half-Life movie, you know who to find.
YouTube is a very powerful marketing tool.
Yes. Listen carefully, Nintendo. Anyways.
And Capcom, for that matter.
And Sega. Yeah, all of you. Anyways, so as soon as I saw that, the first thing that came to my mind was, this seems like a really easy way of doing machinima. Because I tried making more traditional machinima in the past, like in the vein of Red vs. Blue, and it just completely fell apart. And here was a method of making machinima that literally required almost nothing. You just need a computer, a game, and recording software, and you can do it on your own. And so I thought, okay, I'll write some... Like, at the time, literally, the only game I had that would fit this format was Doom 3. And I thought, okay, so I'll write some lines, and I actually wrote like several pages worth of lines. But obviously, being like overly excited, I had no idea how to record the game. I'd have no idea how to turn the HUDs off and all of that. I didn't even complete the game back then. And so very quickly it just became one of those ideas that I lock away in my hard drive and never came back to. I'm pretty sure for a lot of people that's what happens with these sort of either fan fictions or machinima ideas or maybe short films. It just sort of disappeared from my mind. And then not long after that, I played Fallout 3, absolutely blew away by that, and of course Fallout New Vegas again blew away by that. And I remember thinking, I wondered how someone would do a Mind series in this, because here, silent protagonist and first-person view, perfect for a Mind series. And I looked around, and this was, I'll be honest, I didn't find Matt's Mind when I was looking around. Maybe you haven't started making it.
I started Matt's Mind in 2010 on Halloween.
Okay, so this was before you made Matt's Mind. But anyway, I looked around, and I couldn't find anything that, actually resembled a Mind series. There were a couple of attempts I found, but none of them really sort of... It just left me feeling, maybe I could do a better job than that. But I again jotted down ideas about how I would do things, and one of the first things that I decided I would, if I did do something like this, would be like try to refine the way you handle conversations, etc. But the thing that really triggered me to actually do this was actually at the end of my first year at university, and I did really badly in the exams. I was feeling quite depressed, and that this was a time when I suddenly thought, I've never actually completed a project. As in, never actually completed a project, whether it's my own or someone else's or something like that. And I figured if I can't even organize and see a project all the way through as something that I really liked, then how the hell am I going to deal with this, later on when I get a job or whatever? This is going to be ridiculous. So at the time, literally at the time, the simplest thing I figured out I could do as a project was the Mind series. And so I just thought, right, I don't care who watches this. I don't care if only 10 people watches it. I don't care if I get 1,000 thumbs downs or whatever. I was even thumbs up and downs back then. I can't remember. But I didn't care.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I just thought, I'm going to do this project for my own benefit, effectively. And so I went ahead and made the first season, and, luckily it was reasonably well received. So here I am still doing it 4 years on, 4.5 years on. Yeah, at the end of the day, just if anyone else is thinking of doing this, just go ahead and do it. Yeah, I mean, do you have anything to add to that?
Not really.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's basically how we went about starting our series. Okay, so I'll do a question. I'm actually doing my list in reverse. So, Well, now that I've seen what the last question on my list is, I kind of wish I didn't do that. I don't. Oh god, I don't know how to answer this without actually going into the game. What skills or perks does the courier have? Oh god. I guess that extends to you as well. Just out of interest, do you actually show the level up process?
Yes, and every time the music comes up, Matt complains about it.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. So they should know what level 1 stuff you're on, right?
Yeah.
And I actually just to get this out of the way, because I don't know. How do you do this legitimately? Like, do you actually level up using what you have, or do you modify things based on the circumstance?
The only thing that I've hacked into the game was 100 stim packs during Point Lookout. and at that point, when he found them, he was like, "Wait, where did I get all the?" You know what? I'm not going to question this because this is the good thing. The one good thing that's happened to me all day.
Okay, I see.
He just had his head torn open.
To be fair, Point Lookout, when you don't have enough equipment, is a nightmare.
And Point Lookout is the hardest DLC in the game.
I think
some consider it to be Mothership Zeta. No, it's Point Lookout.
Yeah, I think you can argue both ways, because I think Mothership Zeta, I think the aliens, because they all have some kind of shield, so they're a lot tougher.
Some of them do, some of them don't.
Yeah, whereas Point Lookout, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think all enemies do like a flat 25% more damage or something. Or something weird.
That
like,
was the one where they
scaled up.
That was the DLC where they included the Feral Ghoul Reavers, which is an enemy that I hate with a passion and a very, very fierce history of hating them.
Well, they added 3 of those, didn't they? They added, this is Broken Steel, I think. They added the Reavers, they added the albino rat scorpions, and the super mutant overlords.
Yeah, the super mutant
overlords. Holy
who
crap.
I also hate them.
Yeah. Well, you see, here's the thing, right? Those white rat scorpions, at least you can backpedal, right? You can keep backpedaling as long as you, yeah, if you can move reasonably fast, you can backpedal, and they shouldn't be a problem.
Rat scorpions are not a problem. It's the fact that they've added this overpowered enemy that isn't wearing armor.
Yeah, well, this is why you wear the ghoul mask. This is why, like, I cannot go into any of those areas without a ghoul mask on. Post level 15, because I think that's when they start spawning.
I didn't even know a ghoul mask was a thing!
This is why
that's gonna be an episode of Matt's Mind Adventures now.
Oh, he doesn't have it yet?
No!
Oh. I feel for you.
So now he's just really, really mad.
Actually, here's a question. What happens if he dies? Like, do you just do another take?
If he dies, I stop the recording and delete the entire episode. I save a lot.
Yeah, I think I figured that much. That's basically what I do as well. So as far as skills and perks for the courier is concerned, so just so Hunter knows this, I don't actually show the level ups screens, because I always felt that kind of breaks immersion. But so I don't ever show that. At this point, I'm afraid I do use cheats, and at this point, it kind of doesn't matter what his skills are, because I always figured you don't actually see it necessarily, translated into gameplay. Like, how can anybody tell the difference between 80 gun skill and 60 gun skill? Like, just by looking at what's happening on footage, you can't really. So that's why I don't bother showing the level up. I mean, I can give you a sort of very broad strokes aim at the moment. Like, he's maxing out small guns certainly, and he's got a lot of points in speech, as someone in my comments pointed out. And also, the thing that I cheated most of all on was repair. He actually has like close to 90 repair for a couple of reasons. First of all, it gives me access to the jury rigging perk, which is very important. Holy shit!
You can repair every melee weapon with a pool cue. I'm serious. Power fist, throw a pool cue at it. It works.
Chainsaw
plus pool cue. Yes.
Yeah. And also, like, you can actually repair armor without spending a fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got that. Although, to be fair...
That's, like, probably the first perk we're gonna go for in Season 3.
But yeah, so he's got that, and at some point, once he gets a max gun skill, obviously move on to the energy weapons, but for the time being, that's kind of what he has. As far as perks are concerned, he's got, like, the fairly standard stuff, like, you know, gunslinger, commando, things that... Nothing, like, too extraordinary or out of the ordinary, to put it this way. He has the perks that gives him more skill points per level up. I don't see why you wouldn't take that, to be honest. And as far as his special stat is concerned, he has 8 intelligence, I believe, and 6 endurance and 6 agility, and then 5 across the board. That's as far as I remember. I don't want to launch into the game to just to be 100% sure, because I don't think there's a point. But yeah, so that's basically what he's sporting. Right, I've got nothing else to add to that.
Well, alright, in terms of Matt's perks, I have no idea what he has. I can think of maybe a few. Like, obviously he has the Bloody Mess perk. But the thing is,
you went for that one. Okay. Yeah, go on.
The thing is, he forgot that he got the Bloody Mess perk, so, he has his signature weapon, his sawed-off shotgun named Gobi, which he thinks is an absolutely terrifying weapon, because every time he shoots someone with it, they explode.
God.
And he cannot for the life of him remember why, but it's the Bloody Mess perk. He also has the perk where if he kills someone in vats, it refills the points meter.
Oh, Grim Reaper's sprint. Yeah.
Yeah, he has that.
That perk is so broken. Holy crap, that perk is broken as hell in Fallout 3. Like, you could just spend about 5 years in that.
I'm pretty sure he has, he's gotten, like, so many perks. Like, when I'm usually going through that perk menu, I'll be spending too much time on it, and I'm like, alright, just get this thing. I'm pretty sure he has a few rad resistance perks in there. I could be wrong. I have no idea.
So, do you actually try to explain how those perks work? Like, does he try to explain how he suddenly more resistance to rats?
No.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
It might have... Right now, my excuse is that the Pip-Boy is linked into his brain, so it does things to his head.
We had this discussion last time, but yeah, to be honest, we don't know what the hell the Pip-Boy does to you. Like, you can't trust that thing.
Well, like, in Fallout 3, they claim that it has, like, biometric seals and everything, so I went for, it links into your brain, and that's also my excuse as to why you can see the HUD. Actually, those are contact lenses. He wears the contact lenses so he can see the HUD, and the way... people have asked me how the mouse works. It works via eye movement, and he clicks the mouse by blinking. Like, if he wants, like, right click, he closes his right eyelid, and the left click would be the other way around. But other than that, I don't know what perks he has, aside from a few. Like, I think he has the commando perk, I have no idea. None of them are modded in, though.
Fair enough.
And I have no idea what his special stats are.
But like I said, like, these things don't really translate well in terms of, like, actual things that you can see clearly. Like, whether or not the guy has commando perk, unless someone actually told you. Can you actually see that happening in game? I don't, like, this is why I don't bother showing them, but, you know, someone wanted to know, so...
Well, I have...
Here we are.
In my defense, I have no idea what his specials are, because I picked those back in 2010, and I barely looked at the screen since.
Oh man. I mean, if you, I know like the people who try to min-maxing the game, they usually start with 9 intelligence or something, and then they do that thing where they swim to River City and pick up the intelligence bobblehead, so that they can max the amount of skills they gain per level. It's I don't know. There's a air quotes correct starting special, although I contest that. But anyways, should we move on?
Yeah.
I think it's your turn.
Oh, have you planned any collabs?
This is literally the first thing we've come up with so far.
This is the first thing that we've come up with. I actually did have one idea. I didn't talk about this last time. I probably should have.
Okay.
I was thinking of starting a new mind group because the masterminds have stopped working and the minor minds have completely disbanded. I was thinking of doing a new group, but I'd have to find multiple people. But I haven't thrown that idea out the window yet, but I could make it work. In terms of collabs between our two shows, nothing has really been planned. The only collaboration that I did was, I did a few... I brought in a few people to do voices for the movie, but those were, like, people back from when we were making the Fallout Equestria game, and we all got kicked out of that, but, I did do one collab in episode 19 with Captain Cool 2. He played the role of the Brotherhood of Steel Squad member who wouldn't open the door at the Washington Monument. That was fun. I also had to wait for like a few months for him to finally do the lines. Which is one of the
that's usually the biggest problem with trying to do collabs. When like one side is more keen than the other side, and if you throw in like time differences, that gets worse.
If we were to do, yeah, I should point out he's 5 hours ahead of me.
Yeah, I'm in the UK, and you. Which part of America are you?
I'm on the East Coast.
Okay.
Like right outside of Bethesda, oddly enough.
Oh wow! There you go. You can question them about Fallout 4 yourself. In theory.
No, I swear to God, sometimes they keep an eye on me like a black van will drive by my house.
Well, you know, as long as it's Bethesda, not the CIA.
Yeah, if Bethesda doesn't give me permission to monetize Matt's Mind soon, I'm gonna go down there in person, though.
Oh God, but yeah, so I don't have that much to add. I mean, I have thrown a few ideas around. I think one of my, again, I didn't tell you about this because I didn't know how it would work out. But one of my ideas would be maybe some kind of phone conversation between the two. So say I'm in the presidential suite in New Vegas, and Matt is like in the Citadel or something, and then one of us accidentally touches a phone, and the other hears it ringing. Because like one thing that you could sort of imagine still works maybe is the phone line from one side of the country to the other.
Maybe, because unlike most of those zombie survival games, the Fallout universe has power.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty much canon that telephone lines do still exist in the universe. So I mean, you know,
if not, there's bound to be communication satellites up there,
or something. So I don't see why like that wouldn't work from like a canon perspective. Just a short phone conversation, and then you know they just both hang up in disgust, thinking, "Who the hell is this jerk?"
The only thing that we would have to figure out is the 5-year time gap between the two shows.
That is true. That's the other issue.
Or we could just say that it's like an interdimensional phone.
Or like you could just we could do something like leaving just like leaving holotape messages or something. Like it doesn't even have to be
that would actually work really well.
Yeah, because one thing we do know that people have been trading between the two, because you get copies of that Wasteland Survival Guide in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, yeah.
So at least we know that is possible. So it's I guess it would only make sense if Matt recorded something which got sent over. Maybe like just some kind of really satirical promotional advert for the Wasteland Survival Guys. Like,
Does your cat make too much noise?
Oh God!
Do cats even exist anymore? Because I have no idea.
Did you know that cats make a fantastic curry? No, let's not go there. Anyways,
the direction I was going with that was kitten mittens.
Oh. See, this is why I just said let's not go there.
I can't go there. It's a Sunny and Philly line.
But anyways, I think the bottom line is that we're open to ideas, so it's not out of the realm of.
One thing that would work is that one of them comes across a locked door, or like one of those boarded up doors, which there's 10 million of in the Fallout universe, and we do something similar to what they did with Barney's Mind and Shepard's Mind. That would be the easiest way to go about it, but we'd have to get.
Oh yeah, so I mean, in case people don't know what we're talking about, there was a special crossover episode in both Shepard's Mind and Barney's Mind where it's quite clever the way they did it. They had one of them inside a toilet, wasn't it? Like
it was Freeman's locker.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Freeman's locker. Yeah, one of them's in there, and the other guy is outside of it, so you never actually see the other person, but you can hear them through the door.
Yeah, he was Shepard was stuck inside Freeman's locker, and he was trying to push the locker open, but it was a pull locker the whole time. Yeah. So they ended up going through this whole conversation. This was during the final episode of Barney's Mind while he was teleporting around.
Well, it's final if you don't count the weird Microsoft Simulator thing after. But yeah. So it was a creative way of crossing over without actually modding the other character into the show.
I actually did like the original ending of Blue Shift. I didn't like that Blue Shift was ridiculously short, but I did like the ending where you just like drive away.
But only hours before the whole place gets consumed in nuclear fire. Yeah, I've never actually played the two expansions. I've been meaning to.
I haven't played the later levels of. I haven't played the later levels of Half-Life in quite a while. I haven't played the Zen levels in years.
Oh God, the Zen.
The last thing I played that was the late level. The last time I played the late levels of Half-Life was while I was playing Black Mesa.
Oh yes.
And even then, they haven't added the Zen levels yet. I'm waiting. No. I'm waiting. I want that to be a play till we went on our live stream.
Be grateful that they've released what they have already, to be honest. That thing, like, Valve Time got infected by Valve Time really badly.
Yeah.
But still, they did a pretty good job considering it's free.
I have seen concept art for the Zen levels, so apparently something's getting done. And recently I figured out that they're also doing HD remakes of Blue Shift and Opposing Force.
Well,
but those are by
wait and see.
Different teams.
Yeah. But so yeah, we can't start off topic. But yeah, so so far we haven't got anything concrete planned. But I'm pretty sure sometime in the future, it's probably gonna happen. We just don't know how or when yet.
I would totally like to do more collaborations with people because fans really eat that shit up.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But so I'm pretty sure if eventually when we do have something concrete, we'll probably do some kind of update. Anyways, I think it's my turn. Actually, yeah, this is actually just a short one. Someone has just asked, what happened to season 3, episode 10. So this is completely exclusive to me. Basically, what happened with that episode was that, so at the end of each series, end of each season, I like to play the intro song in as fully as I can while I'm rolling the credits. Like the mods that I used, who to thank, and so on. And I did that for all the seasons, and for some reason, "Come Fly With Me" by Frank Sinatra got copyrighted, and I didn't. Like the other ones, they've also been like detected by YouTube's system, but then most of the time I just say, okay, I acknowledge that this is, I'm not making money off of this anyway, so I just say, okay, I acknowledge that this is not actually my song, so feel free to put some kind of link there that says, buy this song from iTunes or whatever. For some reason, with that one, they decided to mute the whole thing, so they muted the entire video. Now, unfortunately, at the time they did that, I didn't actually have the original file. When I say original file, I mean like the file I used to actually edit the stuff. I didn't have that anymore. So for a long time, I was like, oh god, I don't want to like try and re-edit this, and it was like I was really busy at university and stuff. So only recently I've actually worked myself up to actually recut the thing, because luckily the way with Mind series is that most of the time there's very little edits, so I could just like rip the sound off of my original video file and try to match it up. And that's the other thing, like if people might have noticed that those videos were very low quality, as in low resolution and stuff, and that was because I rendered them only as 360 because my internet at the time just couldn't handle uploading any higher than that. So my original footage were actually in 720p, but I had to compress them. So this time I figured, I might as well use the original footage and make a sort of pseudo remake of that episode. But it's out there now. So I think it's the latest video I uploaded. So people who want us about that episode, go to my channel and find it. Sorry, that was supposed to be a quick answer. But anyways, can I do another one on my list?
Yeah, okay.
Alright, oh crap. Okay, this one's gonna be long. Oh god. What? Okay, so for both of us, so apart from Fallout, what other franchises are you a fan of? Jesus,
Okay.
how much time do you have? Do you want to start?
Hold on, I'm typing this into the thing. I'm writing these down so you guys can see it in the description, where the questions are.
Oh, yes.
There we go. Yeah, I can start. Well, I like Fallout. I'm really into that. I am into the Half-Life series. I really got into the Half-Life, so I'm pulling up Steam right here just to see what's on here. I'm a really big fan of the old Lego games, like
Oh, wow.
Rock Raiders
Never actually-
or
I feel
Knight's
like I should
Kingdom.
play those. I've never actually tried those.
We just did a live stream where we played all the old ones.
Wow.
Oh, it was amazing. It was also a really big pain getting them to work, because I run on Windows 7. But I get a bit of flack for this, but I am a fan of the Assassin's Creed games, and yes, I did kind of like Assassin's Creed Unity.
Ooh.
I
don't know. I haven't played any of those. So.
I'm not into a lot of Star Wars games, though Battlefront 2 is one of my all-time favorite games. I like a select few of the Call of Duties, like Ghosts and Advanced Warfare, but that's... Actually, in my defense, those are probably the only two I played. I played a bit of Black Ops 2, but that's it. I'm a fan of the new Lego games, actually. Medal of Honors, I'm really into those. Metro.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm really into Kerbal. Kerbal is a big one for me. The Warhammer. I played a few Warhammers. I played one or two of the XCOMs. In terms of PlayStation, Destroy All Humans. I grew up with the Ratchet and Clanks, Sly Cooper, stuff like that. Oh, I own every single Command and Conquer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I used to play Generals.
Oh, Generals is like the best.
Yeah. that just just so you guys know that I'm actually Chinese, so when I listen to the Chinese accents, oh my god!
Oh wow!
Oh god, it's so bad. It's funny. So.
I like a select few simulators. Euro Truck Simulator, and I sometimes like Goat Simulator when they release content, because that is a one-time sort of thing. Like, you'll laugh once at it and then you won't laugh at it again, which is why the MMO update was
that game is just pure YouTube bait, isn't it? It's like
it is blatantly YouTube fodder.
Yeah,
but it's mainly meant to be as a joke for all of the really bad German simulators. Because nobody fixes the frickin' bugs. And there are also all of these useless simulators coming out, like Rock Simulator and stuff like that.
They could just hand wave, though. They could just say, you know, that bug is funny, so we're just gonna keep that in.
And
yeah, I'm looking at you, Surgeon Simulator.
And another thing that I'm into End War. Despite all the flack that it gets, I really like the voice commands in that game.
You really like your strategy games.
I grew up with the real-time strategies.
I like strategy games, I'm just crap at them.
Another game that I will admit that I'm still into RuneScape.
Oh god, I just had this conversation with my friends. Their RuneScape is making a comeback among my social circle as well.
I'm still into RuneScape. I like the Just Cause games. I'm awaiting Just Cause 3. I'm really into StarCraft.
You wouldn't be an RTS fan without at least trying StarCraft.
Oh, Mass Effect. I played through Mass Effect 2 at least 12 times.
12 times?
Yes.
Wow. As something like a different class each time or something, or?
Nope, same class. I just really like the story.
Fair enough.
I am way into BioShock, huge BioShock fan.
Oh, God. You're just mentioning so many things that I'm like that. You know, I've been trying to think of a list, and for some reason I just couldn't. And now you're mentioning these things. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, and Portal. Portal 1 is one of the few games I have yet to find a flaw in, besides the fact that it has the most obnoxious fan base on the planet. I'm not looking at you guys for FNAF right now. But I was
just playing Portal the other day. I realized I still have achievements that I haven't done.
I really got into Portal. I got that with my copy of the Orange Box, actually.
Greatest deal ever.
Yes.
Greatest deal ever.
That's like 5 games.
Yes. Yeah. Because you got Half-Life 2, Episode 1, 2, and and the 2 obvious ones.
And even though it ruined the gaming market, I'm into Minecraft, and we still run our Minecraft server. Speaking of which, that has to be up in an hour. Yes, I'll say it. Minecraft ruined the gaming industry.
But it made money. That's all it matters in the end.
No, they were like the first people to really do an open beta, and as a result, everyone's like, hey, I could do an open beta too! And then early access became a thing, and then everyone started doing early access and everything, and it was awful, because then people wouldn't finish the game, and then it would be bad. I mean, just look at The War Z. That's another franchise I'm really into.
Sorry,
I'm into Daisy.
As far as I'm concerned, that game doesn't exist. I refuse to acknowledge its existence.
Well, they changed the name to Infestation Survivor Stories, and I'm constantly saying, don't get that game.
I genuinely didn't know that. Did they really do that?
They really did that. They changed the name and then re-released it on Steam. Has all the microtransactions and everything.
Well, there you go. Avoid like the plague.
And,
you heard it here.
A few more.
This could be a video all on its own. Just us two discussing which games.
Just a few more. A horror franchise that I'm really into that isn't really horror. I love Dead Space. Like, I really do love Dead Space.
I thought you were gonna go Resident Evil there. That's when you say like it's not really a horror.
I own only one Resident Evil, and that's 4, and it's for my PlayStation.
Yeah. 4 was good.
And I only bought that for, like, a live stream, actually. I like the Crisis games. There was another one. I really got into Age of Empires 3. Oh, Empire Earth.
I heard a lot of good things about that.
Empire Earth. Like, the first one was great. The second one, the story was bad, but the gameplay was great. And the third one was just bad.
What about Rome? Total War Rome? Because that's another
I never
popular
played the
RTS.
Total Wars.
Okay.
I really did like the Doom games, and despite all the flack that it gets, I love Duke Nukem Forever.
Interesting.
Yeah,
To be honest, like sometimes I wonder because I've never played that, and like virtually everyone says bad things about it.
It's because it didn't.
I think so. Just slight tangent here. So the other day I bought Deus Ex: The Fall, which was that really controversial.
God.
Controversial
I watched a Total
mobile.
Biscuit play that.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing, right? Everyone says negative things about it. I think maybe that had an effect on me because, like, my expectations were so low already, and I played it. I actually kind of liked it because with everything, with everything in mind, like, I totally agree. It is vastly inferior to Human Revolution in virtually every respect.
I really got into Human Revolution, by the way.
Bearing in mind that this is the mobile port, and bearing in mind that I got it for £1.75 when it was on sale, which is ridiculously cheap. That's cheaper than you would get it on the App Store, certainly. It's not bad. So, like, basically what I'm trying to say is, by all means, take their views into consideration, but don't necessarily condemn something just because they say it's bad. Yeah. So, like, when you keep saying, oh, as much flack as I get, and so on and so on, that's not a great attitude to take. I think you should, take other people's opinions, like, and consider them, maybe, try to think about it, but don't, for the love of God, don't let that stop you from getting something that you really want to get. I think that's basically the take-home message. Anyway, I'll just very quickly go through my list.
I just got a few more, so...
okay.
Last year, I really got into Titanfall. If they make a sequel, I will buy it. Last year, I also really, 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 really got into Shovel Knight.
Ooh. And yes, that was on the top 10 list of a lot of people.
Shovel Knight is amazing. But my all-time favorite franchise is still the Fallout franchise. Because
of course.
Fallout 1, amazing game, despite being amazingly old. Fallout 2 is probably the game I hate among the Fallout franchise the most.
Ooh.
I don't hate it.
That's a controversial choice there.
It's it had a big difficulty spike that I still can't get past. I'm still working on it. It took me a while to get a handle for Fallout Tactics, but eventually I did get that down. That's also a good game. I recently went out and got Brotherhood of Steel for the PlayStation 2.
Oh, choose your next words very carefully.
I actually really like it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Fallout 3 is obviously amazing, and New Vegas is also nothing short of amazing.
It's a franchise with a great pedigree. So
unless there are any that I'm forgetting.
Fallout 4? No, I think that's all of them. Fallout 4, got a lot to live up to. That's all I can say.
I will say this, Fallout 4 is my most anticipated game of all time right now.
Yeah. I actually have there's a question that's going to be on my list later on where someone asks, like, what's your most looked forward to game in 2015? I'm pretty sure, like, that's on both of our lists. Or even though we know it's not going to actually come out in 2015. Anyway, we'll get to that question eventually. So can I do my list?
Oh yeah, one more. Red Faction.
Red Faction. Okay. Mine's not gonna be that long because I just want to say like franchises. First of all, Metroid. I'm a huge fan of Metroid.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's I think Fusion was the first one I played, and then Corruption was the first 3D one I played, and absolutely love them. Even though I will admit I still haven't finished Super Metroid yet, because the problem is like everyone knows Super Metroid is a classic, but bear in mind when you're going backwards from Fusion to Super Metroid, that's a little bit difficult because all of a sudden you can't grab ledges anymore, and you don't really know for certain where you're going anymore. I know that's like one of the big selling points of Metroid, but a little bit difficult on my part. But Zero Mission was great, by the way. Yeah, so Metroid, great franchise. I'm actually really looking forward to see what the next one's gonna be like. So I mentioned Deus
Except
Ex.
Other M, because that was just...
Well, Other M. Yes, the black sheep of the franchise. I would still argue that it's not a bad game per se, just a terrible Metroid game. Like it didn't know what it wanted to be, but that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
Everyone's heard of all the arguments for and against, but yeah. So I mentioned Deus Ex. Again, I have to be brutally honest. Haven't played the first two, even though like everyone's, it's Deus Ex. The first one I think is almost universally considered the best PC game of all time.
It is, in my opinion, one of the hardest.
It probably is. So, well, bear in mind, games back then they held nothing back, right? They were pretty hardcore stuff. One of these days I'll probably try it, but again, I fear it's going to be a similar problem where I'm going backwards from Human Revolution, where I have all these conveniences to to something that's older and a lot harsher. So that's always going to be an interesting perspective in a way. Like you're going backwards from something more recent to something older, even though that's a classic. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Human Revolution I just didn't play through, like literally the other day, and yeah, trying to get all the achievements in that at the moment. Great game, absolutely love it.
Human Revolution has some of the hardest achievements I have ever seen in a video game.
Really?
Beat the entire game without setting off any alarms. Beat the game without killing anyone.
Oh, God. Okay, right. Not killing anyone. I actually managed to get that. Even though I heard apparently it's bugged in a way. Like, if you shoot someone in the head with a sleep dart, you could actually kill them for some reason. Because, like, headshots do more damage or something. Which, you're using a non-lethal weapon. But the not setting off alarm one, I do not know. Here's the problem. It doesn't tell you specifically when you've actually invalidated the achievement. Like, as far as I'm aware, in the playthrough that I just did, I didn't set off any alarms, but nope, no achievement in the end. Have you tried the Missing Link DLC?
Barely. I sort of stopped playing it midway.
Are you aware there's an achievement in there where you're not allowed to use any weapons and not allowed to upgrade your body at all? There's an achievement for that. Yeah. Fuck that achievement.
Okay.
That achievement can go screw itself. I actually managed to get it.
That's very go hard or go home.
But god damn, that was painful. That was so painful. It's like, bear in mind, I got this in the director's cut. So I'm doing that whilst trying not to kill anyone, whilst trying not to set up alarms. Oh my lord. Oh god. Oh my god. I just no words. Like I dare someone to actually try and play through the director's cut and get every achievement in one playthrough. I want to see that happen. I know it's possible. It is actually possible, but it's gonna be so difficult. Anyways, moving on. Elder Scrolls. I've only actually played Oblivion and Skyrim, but they're both pretty good games.
Okay, I've been playing the Elder Scrolls since Daggerfall.
Wow, you have a much like. You started way earlier than I had.
I had a Morrowind, but I lost it somewhere.
Oh.
I couldn't get into Oblivion. I really got into Skyrim, though.
I think, to be fair, I only looked at Elder Scrolls because of Fallout. But, it grabbed my attention after I started playing. So that was something. Also trying to get all the achievements in Skyrim and also fuck some of those achievements. There's one from the DLC where you have to kill, what was it, a legendary dragon which doesn't spawn until you're at least level 50. I, I literally don't have that much time to grind up to level 50, but you know, that's how it is. Half-Life, we pretty much already talked about. I played Half-Life 2 also on the Orange Box. I'll be honest, I bought the Orange Box for Team Fortress 2. Like, Half-Life was just like a bonus, but...
Well, then they made Team Fortress 2 free, so that was...
Yeah, but, you know,
nice.
I look back and I think I got Half-Life 2 and I got Portal out of it.
I got Team Fortress 2 before they added the frickin' Manco store, so...
Oh, yeah, this was way before. I think when I got Team Fortress 2, they just brought out the Sniper and Spy updates. So this was a long time ago. But yeah, the game has changed a lot since then. I have played recently, but not as much as I used to. But yeah, Half-Life, great game. That Ravenholm level, goddamn. Try to do that achievement thing where you only use the gravity gun. That was intense, especially against the fast zombies. The fast zombies. Do I need to say anything else?
The
God.
bane of my attempts to get achievements. That and the Little Rocket Man achievement. That was fun. Gonna be honest, that one was fun.
You know, I want to know, right? What was going through the... I'm pretty sure it wasn't like something that the whole team decided, like, you know what, we're gonna make this achievement. I'm pretty sure it was like maybe one or two guys, maybe one guy one day thought, you know, it would be funny if we had this as an achievement. And everyone else was just like, yeah, you know, just do it, just for the hell of it.
It's actually easier than you think, because there's a lot of moments like when you're going into the antlion hive to get the thing with your Alex. Yeah. You can literally just leave the gnome with the antlions and it'll be waiting for you. Well, there's a whole bunch of moments where you can throw it, and so you don't have to carry it in the car. The only bit that will really give you trouble is the bit with the helicopter.
Yes!
Because the damn thing keeps falling out, the helicopter blades are pushing the gnome around, and you're trying to get the gnome, and it's shooting at you, you're losing health. That was the hardest part of that achievement.
Can I just say, like, it was 2 in the morning, I'm crawling underneath the train cart, holding that thing for dear life, and I'm thinking, what the hell am I doing?
If they made it so that you could break that gnome, it would be impossible.
Oh my god. But yeah, like that achievement, no, actually, you know what? Okay, that achievement ties with the one where you have to destroy all the Striders without losing a single house.
Okay, yeah, that one's hard too.
Screw that achievement. Screw that achievement.
I noticed
so hard.
this episode 2 is very go hard or go home with the achievements. Like, I keep trying to get the get some grub achievement, and I keep running into the same problem the masterminds were having. There's 300 grubs total. I go through it, look at the thing, 299 grubs.
Oh man.
Where is that one fucking grub?
Oh, did you find? I think one that was hidden inside a locker. I think that was the infamous grub that hid inside a locker, and no matter how, like, you just had to know it was there. Like, these people, I know making video games is frustrating, but don't take it out on us like that. Oh my god! I swear to God, like the hardest achievement, like if we. I know we're talking about achievements now, but I just have to get this off my chest. Max Payne 3, The Shadow That Rushed Me. Does that ring a bell?
No.
Do you know, have you played Max Payne 3?
I have a Max Payne, but it's not Max Payne 3.
Right, do you know roughly how it works, so the gameplay and so on?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah. Now, there's a mode called the New York Minute mode, where you have to complete every level in a minute. You can't give yourself more time by scoring headshots, but like that's like, you know, maybe 5 seconds per headshot. But so yeah, that's how it works. In Max Payne 3, they decided to have that, and they had a hardcore version of that, where if you die once, you get reset back to the start of the game. Now, picture that for a second.
That reminds me of what they did with the first Steel Battalion game.
Oh god.
If you died in that game, it deleted your save and you had to start over.
Oh my
Well,
god.
there was this eject button that you were supposed to push, and if you didn't hit the eject button, it deleted your save. That thing has the most ridiculous controller. People watching this, go look up the controller for Steel Battalion. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh my god. But yeah, like, if we want to talk about frustrating, like, achievements and game difficulties, we could talk forever. Anyway, moving on.